The attention of 4 monks. Hey, what do you think? Not bad. The next day, he became their newly recruited underling. Do you want to make friends? They helped him take back the scene. Zhou Yiwen's birthday that day. The gang of 5 celebrated his birthday. Happy birthday. They wanted him to go to another stall to sell late-night snacks. As a result, he was almost beaten to death. A few people sat at the entrance of the temple. Tell him it was just a joke earlier. Remember, this temple area is our turf. Then, a few people took, "Boss, this is all my fault." The monk was beaten so badly he couldn't get out of bed. The monk's father and his old brother rushed over and expressed strong objections to the monk being beaten up by the temple boss. They also revealed past events of the temple gate. It turned out that the current temple boss had usurped the monk's father's position. The monk fell silent upon learning this. 4 years later, the monk's father conducted practical combat training for the gang of 5. This also meant that they were officially entering the adult world. Truly stepped completely into the underworld. After everyone had learned their skills, they returned to the hall for a celebration. Zhou Yiwen drank too much and vomited what came with forces from other provinces, fearing that they are coming to snatch the territory of Moga. Before long, the temple mouth boss had a negotiation with the Grey Wolf who came from another province. They refused to let outside forces get involved in Moga. And this Grey Wolf from another province found Brother Wenqin for a discussion, preparing to stir up trouble in the area of Moga. Brother Wenqin approached the monk to repay a favor from many years ago. He told the monk that nowadays, everyone in the mix uses guns. If Moga doesn't keep up with the trend, it will disappear sooner or later. These words struck a chord with the monk. Not long after, the street boss was murdered. Yet the prime suspect is his subordinate, Zhang. But the person is currently untraceable. The crowd also had an argument with Brother Wenqian. At night, the temple mouth boss received news that Zhang had been found. He sent all his men to capture him. At this time, several strangers arrived at the temple mouth shrine to worship. In reality, they came to eliminate the temple mouth boss. And Zhou Yiwen, who did not help capture Zhang, discovered that the temple mouth boss had met with foul play, swore in his heart that he would definitely find the murderer and avenge everything. The next day, the temple mouth announced the mourning. Zhou Yiwen performed filial piety on behalf of his son, donning mourning clothes. At night, Zhou Yiwen told Monkey that there was something fishy about the capture, also framed as the murderer of the street boss. Seeing the situation was beyond salvage, everyone discussed to send Li Jilong and uncle to the Philippines to lay low. The next day, Zhou Yiwen came to Grey Wolf to say he wanted to seek revenge. He wanted his mother's first love to take good care of her. Mo, the one who died in the oil spill. Grass. Grass. He cried, seeing the way the old temple mouth died in his arms. But Gada, the boss of the temple mouth, died in my arms. I can never forget that he died in my arms. The next day, Zhou Yiwen bid farewell to Bai Yuguang Xiaoning. Then he came to Grey Wolf to talk about going to the Philippines. Unexpectedly, he saw his brother, the monk. He actually had dealings with Wen Qianzhe and Grey Wolf. Zhou Yiwen knew that the boss of the temple mouth's victimization was not simple. It must have something to do with the monk. At night, several people gathered at the temple entrance. Zhou Yiwen suggested lighting another stick of incense before leaving by boat. Let's 4 of us go and light the incense. Entrance. Are you going to see us onto the boat or send us to our deaths? The monk frantically denied any such thing. The 5 of us once took an oath of brotherhood here. Today, one of you holds a knife to my throat. And mother starts to doubt me. What is this supposed to be? Zhou Yiwen demanded that he swear in front of the ancestral master. You dare say that in front of the ancestral master? I saw with my own eyes that he was with Wen Qian and Grey Wolf. The monk knew he couldn't avoid it any longer. He admitted that he was the mole who killed the temple entrance boss. Did you kill my father? Village. Did you kill my father? The people inside argued heatedly, overheard by Wen Qian's men outside the door. Hurriedly sought Brother Wenqian's help. After Brother Wenqian's men arrived, a battle ensued between the two sides. The monk fled all the way, arrived at Li Jilong's house and obtained a small handgun. At that moment, he found Li Jilong hiding in fear in a corner. Told him everything was for his sake. Everything I did was for you. As for whether Li Jilong believed it or not, that was unknown. The monk, holding a gun, hid in the corner waiting for Zhou Yiwen. Zhou Yiwen slowly came into the monk's line of sight. A gunshot rang out and Zhou Yiwen fell to his knees. Why didn't you just leave by boat when you are clearly my brother? The monk said, because we are in the underworld. Those who stand in the way must be eliminated. Do I have a choice? Because we are in the underworld. Who else has a choice? But Zhou Yi, I am not involved in the underworld. I am all about friendship, about loyalty. I am not involved in the underworld. What I am involved in is friendship. Zhou Yi continued, when I was about to hug you, you also opened your arms, didn't you? You're involved in friendship too. What you're involved in is not just friendship, but also loyalty. When I went to hug you, you opened your arms too, right? You're involved in loyalty, huh? Zhou Yi continued, when I was about to hug you, you also opened your arms. You're involved in friendship and loyalty too. Zhou Yi continued warmly. Monk. You thought you were involved in the underworld. But in reality, you're involved in friendship. It's loyalty. After listening, the monk was overwhelmed. You think the boss of Gata Temple is something good?